Quentin Tarantino slams streaming movies. It's almost like they don't even exist. Guys, we saw this headline last week and stuff, and I didn't really want to talk about it too much because it was just Tarantino saying that streaming movies aren't all that big of a deal. But it just seems to be resurfacing and resurfacing. I can't get away from it. Let's address it now. What do you mean, Quentin? It's like they don't even exist. I think people from the Glass Onion, we had lots of fun watching Glass Onion here, would disagree with you. And Martin Scorsese, Killers of the Flower Moon, is going to be on streaming. What are you talking about? Like they don't even exist. Again, Tarantino is somebody, if you don't know, he's obsessed with the old style of filmmaking. He insisted on Hateful Eight being shot on 70 millimeter because he bought a certain camera and stuff like that. He's like Christopher Nolan. It's got to be about the IMAX experience. He's a little bit like Cameron, where it's got to be all about that big theatrical experience. And I'm like that too, but I'm also not ignorant enough to close my mind off to the streaming movies, because as I said, we have lots of fun watching Glass Onion. And I actually like J-Lo in that Mother movie. But Tarantino's been kind of, I don't know, maybe he's being misquoted here, speaking with Deadline, talking about this. Streaming services, and it feels like projects exist to feed the content machine instead of being remembered. Quote, I mean, I'm not picking on anybody, but apparently for Netflix, Ryan Reynolds has made $50 million on this movie and $50 million on that movie and $50 million on the next movie. I don't know any of these movies. I don't know what any of these movies are. You don't know about The Gray Man? Hey, even I know about that, even though I didn't finish watching it. I never seen them. Have you? Well, lots of people saw Glass Onion. I haven't ever talked to Ryan Reynolds' agent, but his agent is like, well, it cost $50 million. Well, good for him. That's good for him that he's making so much money. But those movies don't even exist in the zeitgeist. It was nominated. What are you talking about? They don't exist. It's almost like they don't even exist. Yeah, Tarantino's being a little bit bullish here. A little bit of ignorance there. I think maybe he's saying it as a slight to try to still promote that theatrical experience. But I look at movies. Who is it that asked that question last week? It was like Scorsese, right? What is a movie nowadays anyway? Well, it's still a story. It's still storytelling. And it doesn't take away from the medium. And as much as they still like to promote watching on the theatrical experience, like I came out of Avatar, Way of Water, saying you got to see it on the big screen. Most people still watch movies just on this, guys. They do. And they don't feel bad about it. Not at all. They don't. So it's kind of like... Quentin, he's going to make one more movie anyway, and then he says he's done with it. I respect him as a filmmaker. I do. I just, I don't know why you got to attack it, right? Arglass says, I'm sure Quentin doesn't mind the odd residual paychecks from things like Pulp Fiction on Netflix. Yeah, pretty sure a few of them are on Netflix over here. Yeah. Hateful Eight was on just recently on there as well, right? Quentin Tarantino, I don't know. As I said, this quote has been surfacing for like the last week because this Deadline interview, and people are just mining it for content. I didn't really. We saw this like on a Twitter roundup, right? And I thought that I had covered it, but I thought it would be worthwhile just talking about it again. He goes into talking about like monetary values of it and stuff like that, but that doesn't, no, it's still all about storytelling. And while things like Red Notice there with The Rock, Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot were kind of like throwaway kind of fun type films, there are other good ones that do come out. Like we watched The Relic, we watched Glass Onion, we watched The Mother, which I really enjoyed. So there is good content out there. Viking Wolf, oddly enough, I found was really entertaining on Netflix. I like how Netflix and like they're bringing in content from like other countries and stuff too, man. So you're really looking down your nose at a whole bunch of content here, Quentin. And I don't know if I can get on board or behind some of your comments. Yeah. Uh, Look, Bruner says, pretty sure Inglourious Bastards was on Netflix. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Wifer says, we saw your Taylor Swift background from the reflection on your. Oh, did you? Oh, Jung Yi was on Netflix as well, too. Yeah, that one, too. That was the guy from who did Train to Busan, did Jung Yi, too, right? So there you go. We saw your Taylor Swift background on the reflection. Oh, did you? Yeah. Well, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, because it's coming up to June. I like to try to change my desktop every month. I'm not somebody who likes to have like the the buttons, like it's like a laptop screen or the icons for the apps. I still prefer the old school desktop setup for my tower and stuff like that. All right, guys. Yeah, we're going way over time today, but that's fine. We'll still get around to watching the fifth episode of Fubar,